Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review and my first album review of 2021. It's been a while since I did an album review, about 2 months. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into it. So yeah, today we're gonna be looking into this album's 15-year anniversary. It's from one band I loved when I was in high school or middle school that I still enjoy to this day. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce. This is the band's third album, and today is this album's 15-year anniversary, released on January 9th, 2006 through Roadrunner Records. Now, Dragonforce really doesn't need an introduction. They're a power metal band from London, England. They've been around since 1999. And had like two albums before this album, being their debut album, which came out in 2002, Valley of the Damned, and then their previous album, which came out 2 years prior in 2004, called Sonic Firestorm. But for me, I feel like Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce is really what got them big, really what broke them into the mainstream. I remember around the time, around 2006 or so. And they're known for, of course, the opening track, Through the Fire and Flames, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, I feel like compared to this album, I feel like Dragonforce had their sound. I feel like they pretty much have a formula that they stick with. But I think, but they do also like to experiment with their sound. I feel like this album really, like I mentioned, really what made Dragonforce what they are, and really what got them more into the mainstream. One thing to know about is just production. Production is fantastic. The vocals from, of course, former vocalist ZP Theert. I think he has like incredible range. Like he did pretty much through his run at the band, and he's just an amazing vocalist. Guitar wise, I don't need to really comment much about Herman Lee and Sam Totman. And just like their soloing really just complements each other, and just the fast playing that they do is great. And bass wise, the bass is pretty audible. You can hear it, and this is the last album with their former bass player Adrian Lambert. In fact, he wasn't even credited as like a main member, because I heard he left after the recording, and then of course was then later replaced by Frederick Leclerc. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, but now he plays bass and creator now. Keyboard wise, some really great keyboard soloing from former keyboard player your Vadim Prajunov. I feel like his keyboards really just go well really fast with Herman and Sam's guitar playing. And drumming wise, I feel like Dave McIntosh does a great job just handling, keeping the rhythm and the beat. So yeah, let's just dive into this classic track by track. Some really just great classic power metal. Well, I know a lot of people don't really care for Dragonforce. I know a lot of people say they're not like true metal and they're just like cheesy and stuff, but I really don't give a fuck. I like this band. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. We'll just start with the song that really needs no introduction, and the song for Dragonforce, Through the Fire and Flames. Now, this is the song that really just made Dragonforce what they are. And if you've been living under a rock, you never played the video game Guitar Hero, which is pretty much where Dragonforce got their fame from. This song itself is pretty good. I know a lot of people say this song is overrated, but I don't really care. And just it starts off with some really insane like acoustic guitars, and it just goes all hell breaking loose, some fast guitar playing, and just some the song itself is great. Just really just showcase what the band can do. And I think it's a great choice of an opening song. Great way to kick it off. And then we go into Revolution Death Squad, which is pretty much a highlight on here, especially right when the solo starts. And there is a melody right around the middle of the song, and it is one of like the most happiest, or like more positive feeling melodies that I've heard. And then it's slow enough that you can like even like whistle or it. And that melody is just really just gets you what pops in your head and just gets you stuck in your head. Yeah, and just I feel like this is another great song, has a great solo in there. And then we move on to Storming the Burning Fields, and has some really great riffs, and a lot of an experimentation here too, which makes it like a lot of fun, and just has like a creepy keyboard passages and some insane like tremolo low picking, and it's just a very epic feeling song. Then we go into another one of Dragonforce's well-known songs on here, and another one of the singles from this album being Operation Ground and Pound, which starts off with some really great guitar playing and some sick keyboard parts, and then it just goes all hell when it breaks loose. It's just some insane like fast parts. And this song also has a little bit of like harsh vocals from I forget her name, Lindsay Dawson. She played was in a band called Demonic, which had a couple of their members like Sam Topman, and I think it's a great song. It's just really just fast and insane vocals. Just everything about the song is great. And then we move on to Body Breakdown. Now this is pretty much if it's not melancholy, the song has a bit of a dramatic kind of vibe to it. It has an interesting use of like keyboards and guitar effects, and the verses have a great go along with like a rapid drum beat. And DP does some great singing here and has an incredible like bass little part from Adrian. Yeah, good song. And then we move on to the next song on here, which is Cry for Eternity, which is an 8-minute song, probably much the longest song on the album, and I pretty much consider it the epic of this album, and has a little bit of a 30-second weird intro with some drum build-up, and it begins with a great melody, and it's pretty much one of the most greatest pieces I've ever heard us. And then the vocals in the song and the lyrics are just great, and just the chorus is really what makes it even better. And I haven't even gotten to the solo, and the solo starts off with a build-up and the keyboard melody, and it just goes into just true, and pun intended, Inhuman Rampage. And the solo just gets you right away. And this is something that just really needs to be appreciated, and it has a great way to end this song. And just Herman Lee does some like tapping, and then Sam sort of like does like a little like wah wah effect, and then it's just a great song. It's just, after listening to the song, you'd be like, damn, this is fucking awesome. And then we move on to The Flame of Youth, and this is pretty much has an unusual key for a power metal song. It has some great riffs and solos and some really catchy verses and some great harmonies. And then we go into Trail of Broken Hearts. Now this is pretty much a power ballad of the album. Has some not really like shredding guitars here, and this is pretty much where they actually kind of like slow down and actually show. I can't really explain it. It's just a pretty different song compared to what we've heard so far, and they pretty much edited it kind of weird, where it has some great soloing, it has some great piano and synths, and the chorus is as good as you can get for like a ballad, and a pretty rich way if you close the standard edition. But right here I have is a special edition, and we have a bonus track which I want to talk about called Lost Souls in Endless Time. And this song is really fast and a catchy song, and it has some great keyboard parts and some really great vocals in this track. I feel like that's another underrated song from Dragonforce. I feel like this song really should be really well known. Now overall, Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce, a great album. Pretty much what got Dragonforce really out there more into like the mainstream of metal and stuff. So I'm going to give this album a score, and some people probably think I'm being biased considering I love this band. I'm going to give Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce an 10 out of 10. This is pretty much a great album, great way to sort of like get them burst through to what made them what they are today and got them well known in the world. So yeah, that's my review of Inhuman Rampage by Dragonforce, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.